What's going on, guys? Man, it's been a tough couple of months, but kind of a good couple of months. Like I said, Hasbro is insane. They literally dropped what, 8, 10 new G.I. Joes? G.I. Joe Classifieds. They literally sent out about 15, 16 G.I. Joe Classifieds. And if that's not good enough, I'm actually trying to get more stuff in. I'm actually pretty happy. So besides the big villains, Megatron, Cobra Commander, Skeletor, Shredder, Hordak, there's a few villains I grew up with that I want to get. Of course, Dungeons and Dragons Venger, one of my favorite villains. And I've been kind of trying to find old cartoons, seeing if they made toys for them, trying to get all of these villains. It's literally insane. Current toy line, past toy lines, DVDs, anime, cartoons, TV shows, trying to collect everything. However, I have been starting on the 3 that I know I want. Centurion, Doc Terror, Bravestar, another Funimation besides He-Man and She-Ra. Honestly, I believe they were somewhat in the same universe. Tex Hex, Black Star. If you guys remember Buck Rogers, pretty much the same concept, except this one, instead of the future, he goes to the past. The Overlord. Little by little, I'm starting to finish or try and collect the villains I want, the females I want for my female girl shelf. The prices, however, for some of these are insane. Thundar the Barbarian, some of their the 3 main characters are like $300 to $500 on card. I want to fine. I'm good without the card, without the package. I don't think they made the villain for that series. I do have to get Zorro and the Lone Ranger. I do know they made 2 toy series for each. I had 2 Lone Ranger, Silver Tonto, Tonto's horse, and I did have a Zorro. I kind of would love to get a couple Buck Rogers, but again, the prices for those are insane. So I'm trying to get the ones I can get right now, while still collecting or trying to finish the current collections. I think once I'm finished with the current collections, I can possibly do it. However, the first series of characters I'd get, besides Transformers Masterpiece and Soul of Chuck Hogan, the Darkling Lords from Visionaries. I do want all of them with all of their weapons, or at least their staff and their emblems and staff emblems are working. Fully armored. Finishing up my Gargoyles collection is going to be insane. You can't find a Lexington. That's the only one I need. Well, besides the 2 characters, Xanatos and Alicia. But technically, I really don't need them. I did run into a little bit of bad luck recently, a couple days ago. So I ordered online through eBay G.I. Joe Classifieds Steeler and Shirt Fuse, the Target 2-pack. Unfortunately, the package got stolen. It definitely sucks for me. A little pissed off, but bad things happen. The only thing for me is I hope whoever stole it has a kid that appreciates it. The person I ordered it from Cali, really nice. Actually emailed me afterwards and is apologized and is, I guess, trying to see if he can get another one, but like I told him, if he has to pay for it, I don't want it. I don't want somebody else losing money when it wasn't their fault or their problem. He seems really nice, though. Everything was really good on his side of it, so I gave him a positive review. However, sometimes being me is a blessing. Sometimes it's a curse. Like I said, bad things happen. It sucks, but it happens. However, I kind of mentioned it to a friend of mine's that kind of works someplace, and I may be getting one free if, again, somebody doesn't steal this package. Sometimes it's nice to have friends in certain places. I mean, that's how I got the Aaliyah. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. If it doesn't work out, sometime down the line, I'll try and order another one. Like I said, the only two things for me is that somebody else who doesn't lose any money in this. If the Hasbro wants to give me a replacement on them, I'm fine with that. But if somebody else has to pay for it, why would I want somebody else to lose their money? Like I said, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And this wasn't meant to be. Maybe I need to wait. It wasn't the time for these two to be part of my collection. I just hope that whoever stole it uses, if they sell it, uses the money for something good, especially for Christmas, or it goes to a child that actually really wants it. But like I said, it sucks, but it's not as big a deal as people think. It's just money. You can't take it with you when you die. As much as we all try to get as much as we can. Besides that, like I said, I have a ton of things coming from Hasbro, from eBay, from Mattel. Well, one thing from Mattel. Well, Big Bad Toy Store. Sometime next week, hopefully they send it. So maybe Thanksgiving weekend? However, G.I. Joe Classifieds. I did get the Mass Effect Breaker. Pretty awesome. I didn't get the Ram Cycle Breaker. Honestly, I really don't know why. Ram Cycle would have been awesome. I like Breaker as a character. I really don't understand, but I am happy that I got this Breaker. Looking at that Breaker and this Breaker, I kind of like this Breaker a lot better. With the face sculpt, there's another head with the bubble. His helmet. This is the same thing as Grunt, where this pops down. And this has a screen. Has his communications backpack. Comes with an insane looking handgun. Looks like RoboCop. And comes with the, I think that's the meteorite. So it was the crystals, the pure water, and the meteorite earth, sand. I definitely want most of the original. I had all of the originals. That's why I kind of want Short Fuse and Steeler. I do have Zap. I did pre-order him, so when next year he will be coming. I do have Hawk, but it's the General Hawk and not the Colonel Hawk. I didn't want the MMS. I don't want that version of Hawk. I don't have the Retro Stalker, but I have the Classified Stalker, which I kind of like a little bit more. Although I like the face sculpt more on the Retro. I think everything else for the Classified version works better. I do have the Retro Scarlet. I also have one other version of Scarlet from Classifieds. I think it's the second version. I do not have the Retro Snake Eyes, unfortunately. I would love the Retro Snake Eyes. I'd put them there though. But I do have both versions with the wolf. So I'm gonna definitely be part of that. We have the Vamp with Clutch, Rock and Roll, Breaker, so technically all we're missing, but should be on the way, is Steeler and Short Fuse. And then the last two, besides Zap, who's on the pretty much on the way, is Grand Slam and Flash. I did not get the Night Force shooter. I should. I'm waiting for a retro to see if they actually make a retro shooter. Because repainting the Night Force into the green, I'd actually think that would be pretty crazy. Because we've never seen that shooter. We've seen Shooter in black, but in the original comic, Shooter had green. And I'm waiting to see if they make that version of Shooter. Besides that, finally Monkey Wrench. So Monkey Wrench is insane. He has like a breather, a face mask. His harpoon rifle, a 6-shooter, 2 axes. There's supposed to be a knife, I think. So literally, Dreadnoks are getting done, which I'm happy. Sometime next year, Zartan's daughter, Zanya. Hoping for Zanzibar and Thrasher with the Thunder Machine. Also Retro Bat. Looks pretty insane. So I think the biggest differences are just the color, the face coloring. This is see-through, while the original was pure black. And then you have the stand, of course, and the flame and laser, which I don't think you had in the original. Slice and Dice, the Ninja Force. This thing is insane. It comes with 2 heads for Slice, I believe, 3 heads for Dice, extra hands for each, a ton of weapons, an actual hat for Slice. So they will be joining Storm Shadow and hopefully Night Creeper Leader. We also have Law and Order, finally. I love this picture. Goes back to the G.I. Joe the movie. Comes with several replacement hands, his helmet, Uzi, a handgun, a baton, a knife, order has 2 heads. They actually have a handcuff. So truthfully, you can't put the handcuffs on normally. You'd have to have the hands and back of the character, take off both hands, put the cuffs on, and put back both hands to handcuff them. Is it worth it? It might be. So, Law and Order will be joining Mutt and Junkyard as my security personnel. But in retrospect, on the damn shelves, Law and Order will be joining the Rawhides. Big Lob when he comes in, Tunnel Rat, and hopefully they make a retro version of Chuckles. I'd pick that up. You have all 4 members. Jinx, we already have, but she's going to be on the ninja side. Falcon, we also already have. Not a great face sculpt though, but I mean, I'm pretty sure they're going to do a retro version of them, so definitely can't wait. And one last thing. The Ghost Viper. Ghost Viper and Dire Beast. Dread-inducing responsive energy. Literally comes with the regular head, the regular Viper head, which has a skull where the Viper mask is. Comes with a snake head, a werewolf head. The Dire Wolf comes with 2 heads. Dire hands for the Dire Viper. Backpack. Looks like there's something up there, but I can't make it out. He does come with the awful Viper glasses. I can't make out those legs though. Someone is hiding. He looks insane. So, not this week, but next week. Retro Bat, Ghost Viper, Desert Scorpion. Finishing up the Cobra Troopers. Until the Grim Viper comes. Grim Viper. It's supposed to ship on the December 15th. So probably sometime in January. Grim Viper, Night Viper. But until then, this should finish the Cobra Troopers. Unless I finally get one Red Ninja. I kind of want a Blue Ninja. But at the same time, I want the Black Ninja. Because I remember Storm Shadow's clan had two enemies, the Red Ninjas, which I believe was the Red Shadows, and the Black Ninjas, which was the Black Dragon. Both of which worked for Cobra. So I would definitely want the Red Ninja and a Black Ninja. But to finish off the ninjas, well, no, I can wait for a Nitro or a Retro Night Creeper. Hopefully they make the Night Creeper leader. And that finishes my ninja hierarchy. Night Creeper leader, Slice Dice, and Storm Shadow. Not a bad haul, right? Wait till you see the next G.I. Joe mailbox. Hopefully by then I'll have, if everything goes right, Steeler and Short Fuse. It's gonna be before December, so that's before the new G.I. Joes come out. So I do have Wetsuit, Sci-Fi, and a Grim Viper coming. I don't know. I'm still on the fence about Footloose. I love the character in the cartoons. I actually had the original toy. And I am on the fence about Mainframe. We really didn't see much of Dial-Tone and Mainframe in the cartoons or the comics. I will say I was not a fan of Dial-Tone in either. I kind of like Mainframe, but he really didn't do much. I mean, even at the headquarters, there was usually somebody else sitting at the screen. You know, in the originals, you had Breaker always on the screen, on the computer, right where he belongs. But once they got rid of the originals, you figure Mainframe would be there? No. I think he was there twice. Dial-Tone was there twice. Other than that, it was always somebody else. I will tell you this. I do hope they make a retro Wild Bill. I want Wild Bill. I want the character. I love the character. I just couldn't do the Dragonfly. In my head, I knew I was getting that thing. I wanted the Rattler. There was nothing that would stop me from getting the Rattler. I knew the Rattler would be huge. As big as that freaking Hiss tank was, that freaking Rattler had to be at the very least twice its size. Technically it's 2.5 its size. And that's just length, not width. The Rattler body is probably about, I wouldn't say half, probably about 2/3 the size of the Hiss body. And that's not with the wings. So I already knew I had no space for the Dragonfly. I'm good with the Rattler. I'm good with the Hiss. All I need is the Thunder Machine. However, that being said, I would love to have a Cobra Asp, like I've always said. I would not excuse me, say no to a Stunner. I may have room right there. I really have to see. However, we have the Allstriker, we have the Vamp for G.I. Joe. I would insanely love a Sky Striker, but again, have no room for that. And that would be pretty insane. And then of course the Night Raven would be even worse than that, and the Condor. Just because I love the Tomcat. I actually like the A10 a lot better. But the Tomcat actually comes in second for me as far as jets go. I do love the new Raptors. I really don't know how that would look as part of G.I. Joe. I never had the Night Raven. I did have a Rattler. I never had the Sky Striker. I had the Conquest X30. And I had the Stealth Bomber. And that thing was huge. It literally was almost as big as me as a kid. I remember trying to play with it, and it was hard. I loved the look of it. I loved playing with it. It just was hard. I did have the Defiant. Yeah, the space shuttle and its carrier. No. Absolutely, positively no. I did play with the space shuttle a lot. But I could not. For me, we had a patio where I played, and there was a stairs, so it literally was impossible to carry the damn thing down the stairs by myself, especially with both space shuttles in it. So I did. Although I liked it, I did end up selling it so I could get the mobile command center, which was a lot smaller and a lot more play features. But I remember when G.I. Joe brought out the General, the ultimate weapon, the ultimate ground vehicle. And I never bought it. General came out when I was leaving G.I. Joe, but for me, when they brought that thing out and it was supposed to be literally the end all ground vehicle for G.I. Joe, I laughed. Because the command center was bigger. Didn't have the firepower, but didn't need the firepower. It literally could crush tanks. The General couldn't. The Defiant, the ground launching vehicle of the Defiant, was a bigger threat than the General. The only reason the General was probably a bigger threat was because of the cannon it had, the motor. But the mobile command center and the Defiance, that should have been it for G.I. Joe as far as ground vehicles. As far as ocean vehicles, the damn USS Flag. As far as sky vehicles, I don't think G.I. Joe ever had anything worthy. I know Cobra had a couple things. In the original, they had the a huge flying Cobra head. The original cartoon. They also had the what looked like a B-52 with the front with the Cobra head. Definitely my favorite Cobra Fortress was the damn thing at the beginning of the G.I. Joe movie. But, I mean, it's a pretty crazy haul, right? Got a few more stuff, like I said, to go through with G.I. Joe Classifieds, a few more stuff on the way. Got a retro mailbox that hopefully you guys enjoy. Bring back some nostalgia. Trying to get out and do a bit of a toy hunt. I did find something. It was one of those I had to get. 808 Collectibles. If you guys don't know the Art, the manager, the owner, passed away in October. His brother, his family, and Dean has been trying to run 808 Collectibles for a little bit, trying to get rid of everything. So definitely go down, pick up whatever you guys need, try and help out the family. Because it's only Dean, the hours have been sporadic. So definitely pay attention to the Instagram pages, the Facebook pages. Art was somebody I considered a friend. He was a good guy. Always tried to help everybody that came into the store. Always tried to put on a good face, talk story. Most of us knew he was in pain, going through a lot of problems. But yeah, stop by, hopefully pick up stuff to help the family, get rid of some of the stuff. Art used to say he had a couple storage units full of stuff. Hopefully try and help with the funeral, hopefully. The funeral will be in January 10th, I believe they said. I am hoping to get down there. I don't know if I can make the funeral. It would be nice too. I definitely want to get down to 808 Collectibles soon though. They also stated that December will be the last month 808 is going to be open. After the funeral, they're probably going to close the store. So one less place for us to go for Pokemon cards, for comics, for Funkos. for talking some crap. Definitely gonna miss him. He was a great person. Other than that, I'm still working. Like I said, I got lots of things coming in. I do have lots of things in. I did make a Lego video on my birthday that I have yet to put out. It's a little video of the Lego villain icon set. I actually opened it up, putting it together. Hopefully have it up on Thanksgiving Day as a special drop. That set actually has a few surprises, and it did surprise me. It wasn't what I expected, but it still looks great. And then, of course, my new Lego set. And then there's a couple sets I want to get. So definitely stay tuned. Lots of things happening. Crazy time, insane time, no sleep time. Trying to get as much as possible done. Trying to get some of my collection done so I can focus on other things. Whew. Thank you so much. In case I don't see you guys, happy Thanksgiving. I'm pretty sure I'm going to make a couple more videos. Before Thanksgiving. Like I said, Masterverse, G.I. Joe unboxing. Hopefully by next week, I have a toy hunt video. Few places I kind of want to check out. Few things I kind of want to get. It's nerve-wracking. Want to go through a couple more or some more of my DVD collection as well. But be safe, guys. Take care. Enjoy the time with your family. This world's going crazy. Sometimes it's good to slow down, breathe, and not really meditate, but just be thankful. For the stuff that you've experienced, the stuff that you have. You can lose money. You can lose anything you have, but you can't lose the experience you've gained in life. Unfortunately, once you get to a certain age, you do lose some of your mind and some of your knowledge, but that's everyone. Like I said, I do have so much things coming. Another G.I. Joe Classified mailbox, another retro mailbox. It's insane. So stay tuned. See you guys soon.